pull. It is the final game of the night inside the Sprint Center in Kansas City. Big 12 championship. West Virginia, the 3 seed, will take on the 6 seed from Waco, the Baylor Bears, as these teams get ready to go. And of course, it's all part of the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship, where we have had some great basketball already. Our Big 12 flashback brought to you by Phillips 66. We don't have to flash back too far. Just a few minutes ago, the previous game ended Texas and Texas Tech. The Longhorns with a great comeback. Jacob Young led the way, a career game for him. But in the end, too much Keenan Evans, too much Red Raiders. They are a talented group. A reason why they're the 2 seed in this tournament. Evans looking healthy and spry, and Texas Tech gets the win to advance into the semifinals. 73-69 the final score. So now our final quarterfinal game of the night features West Virginia, Baylor, Kansas, K-State, Texas Tech already in. They will play those semifinals tomorrow here in Kansas City. Hi everybody, Dave Fleming alongside Robbie Hummel. Chris Button is with us as well. So it's been good basketball. It hasn't been upset prone though, as we thought it might be here in Kansas City. West Virginia trying to hold serve. Can the Mountaineers do it?
Yeah, we're going to see right now, and it really all starts with Javon Carter. He's certainly the head of the snake in this West Virginia press. Gets it done on both ends of the floor, but defensively, a guy that's been all-league defensive team 4 straight seasons in Morgantown. Also back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year awards. He can score the ball in transition. He's always in attack mode. Look for him to come out aggressive early and often for this West Virginia attack.
It's not an exaggeration to say that Javon Carter is one of the great players in the history of this conference. So West Virginia led by Carter against Baylor, a team that's had a tendency these last few years to start slow, finish fast.
No, this has kind of been their deal. And this year, almost by no fault of their own, you see what happened to TJ Maston. Breaks his shooting hand, really struggled his first 10 games back. But once he got into the rhythm, has shot the basketball better. You look at that, 6-3 in their last 9 games in a tough Big 12 conference.
Yeah, TJ is so important for this Baylor team. He's going to start tonight. For more on him, let's welcome in Chris.
Well, as Robbie said, that turnaround has so much to do with TJ Maston's shooting hand. He tried to come back and tried to help his team, but it just didn't have the same touch. And he said mentally that was the worst part, to know that I could play, but I wasn't really helping my team. So he spent a lot of time at the gym, and around the beginning of February, he finally got that touch back. He's been shooting 55% since then and has earned his 2nd career start tonight.
He is the Big 12 6th Man of the Year. Now, that doesn't really apply tonight because he is going to start. The highlighter green numbers, letters on the Baylor uniforms. Here we go. One last spot in the semifinals remains in Kansas City. And I think it's just really interesting, this Big 12, which has been so wide open, which we thought coming in, literally you could make an argument even down to the bottom seed, the 10 seed, Iowa State, could make a run toward a championship, and yet it's been the top seeds who have won all these quarterfinal matchups.
No, it is fascinating, but you know, it shows to the depth of this league. The teams in it are all really good, and it's been close games, competitive games. Just haven't had those upsets that we thought might kind of show themselves.
That looked like a set play for Baylor, and a pretty good one. Joe Lual-Achuil missed the shot from close range. Now he gets the defensive rebound for Baylor.
No surprise with the tempo of this game. We're 35 seconds into it, or excuse me, 25 seconds into it. We've already got 2 shots. Make that 3.
We haven't had a made shot yet, but I think to your point of the quick tempo, West Virginia wants to play ragged. They want to play loose. They want to play free.
They want to speed you up and turn you over. And we have seen them give this Baylor team fits all season. You look at the turnover numbers, 21 in their first game, 14 in the second, but 12 of those coming in their first half.
Konate with the bucket for the Mountaineers.
Offensively, you know, his defense gets talked about so much, but offensively, he has really, really improved from last season. Just a guy that has a lot of ability. Score the ball, can shoot to 15 feet.
Jake Lindsey, not a big scorer, but with the friendly roll.
And he touched the whole rim right there. He went around maybe 2 or 3 times. He's a guy that loves to attack the rim. And just also a guy, too, you look at what he's done in Big 12 play. Leads this team in plus minus. Doesn't turn the basketball over, really looks for others, but right there calls his own number.
You made the point about Maston and his difference-making ability for this team. Lindsey, same way. He went into the starting lineup. Baylor became a better team. He's got the ball here. Baylor people saying this is the nightmare matchup for them. So we'll see if it's any different third time through.
Now, Jake Lindsey, he's going to have to take care of the basketball. You said that this matchup isn't great for them. The guards for Baylor are really going to have to bring it tonight, score, and not turn the ball over.
Omot, who can be a good scorer. LeConte from the corner for three.
I thought Omot traveled. He finds Manu LeConte in the corner. Nice start here for Baylor offensively.
Baylor is another team of so many in this league with good resumes, quality wins, an argument to be made, but also some uncertainty. A win tonight would go a long way towards cementing Baylor's spot in the NCAA tournament. That's a three from the right side for Wesley Harris, the sophomore.
Baylor in that 1-1-3 zone that they run, and we've seen West Virginia try to get the basketball to the corners on most of their possessions. There's going to be open shots. Now Baylor going to try to contest, use their length to kind of pressure these West Virginia guards on the perimeter. So far, West Virginia getting pretty good looks.
According to BPI, this is basically a must-win for Baylor. That was an air ball out of bounds off of the Bears. I'm not sure that's the case, but I think no matter how you slice it, whether you believe the people, the computers, Joe, BPI, RPI, Scott Drew knows this is an enormous game for his team.
We talked about it in the first game. You just don't want to give the selection committee any reason to not put you in the tournament. So you come out here, this is your last showing. If you do lose, you want to put your best foot forward. You come out here, you lay an egg, you get blown out. That's the last image the committee sees. Now they shouldn't take that into account, but they are human. And you can look at things like that and have to think it sometimes does end up playing a role.
King McClure in off the bench for Baylor. West Virginia ball. Baxter Miles along with Javon Carter. So much the most experienced combo in the country, really by far, in the backcourt. Nice block. Omot got his hand on that one and swatted it away. McClure, good look. Maston had it blocked, but really, no, he just lost it out of bounds. That's a turnover. Bob Huggins, his 11th year at his alma mater. Morgantown kid, 36 years as a college basketball head coach, 841 career wins.
He is the perfect man for this job, and he is so embraced and so loved in Morgantown. The job he's done here, taking over for John Beeline, really a long time ago now, but just done a phenomenal job with this program.
Back-to-back pretty good coaches in Morgantown between those two. Very different styles, very different coaches, both tremendously successful. In the corner, Omot will try it again. This time, no air ball.
No, a little bit better look that time for Nooney Omot. He has really shot the basketball well. He's got to be playing with a lot of confidence over his last two, shooting 57% from three and coming off a 30-point performance in Manhattan.
He came off the bench in that game. Scott Drew's been changing the lineup a lot.
Yeah.
Came off the bench and scored 30. So you do that, you get to start, and then you start stealing the ball away.
And so far, West Virginia not able to take advantage of the zone. Right there, Issa Mott wide open on the short corner. Got to give a little ball fake.
That's out of bounds. West Virginia will have it when we come back to Kansas City. 8-5 Baylor lead.
That's just how I made my name, just off defense. Anyone can score. It takes a lot to be a good defender. The coaching staff, they had a lot of belief in me coming here. I just wanted to repay them and just give them everything I had. We've always showed how hard we play. And what we do isn't easy, and we gonna do it until we can't no more.
Defense may be the best part of Javon Carter's game, but he's got a lot of strength. First team All Big 12 again, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, all 4 years, first team All Defense in this league. He's a Wooden finalist, he's a Bob Cousy finalist, top 5 point guard in the country. He is one of the great players in West Virginia history, in Big 12 history. And he does it on both ends of the floor. Javon Carter trying to lead the way in his senior year. Bolden, that's a double dribble. Peter Bolden dribbled, picked it up, waited a few seconds, and thought maybe they forgot.
That and
Bob Huggins confused.
Yeah, he's not sure what to think about that, I don't think.
Chris, you got anything more on Javon Carter? I'm sure you do.
Well, Bob Huggins didn't call him up when he did. Javon Carter may have not even ended up playing basketball. He was also a star baseball player in high school, center field, shortstop, and he didn't know what he wanted to play, so he was going to go wherever offered him the first scholarship. So West Virginia called first for basketball. 2 weeks later, he got an offer at a Division II school in Wisconsin. So Hey, if Huggins was 2 weeks later, Carter may have been on a baseball field.
You watch him buddy around on defense. It would be fun to watch him go chase a fly ball down in center field, I think.
He would be a heck of a center fielder.
He's got the perfect baseball build too, but he also is built for this. And I think just for everybody watching at home, I know he's been around for so long. Probably everybody's watched him at some point, but the defensive, if you just watch him nonstop on defense, how he never stops.
His mentality. I mean, it's all a mindset, and it's about being a great defender each possession. And he is so locked in to the scouting report. You see him right now. He's checking man of LeCompte. Huge part of this Baylor offense. It's going to be a tough, long, physical night for LeCompte.
Steal by Vito Bolden. Trying to dish it back to a teammate. Not a great idea. That's a turnover. 2 turnovers in a row for Bolden.
You got numbers.
3-on-1 kind of numbers. That was kind of fumbled by Baylor. In the end, they get a whistle and a call. Got bailed out. Tristan Clark draws a foul.
That was so fortunate. I think Tristan Clark traveled right there. We're going to look back on the defensively. You see just the way they swarm. Now Vito Bolden gets the run out. Baylor doesn't get up on the play. Look at the pressure. I mean, West Virginia has 3-4 guys all around the basketball. The West Virginia mentality is alive and well, and you see it right there. They were willing to almost sell the farm, go for the steal early. Baylor just not able to take advantage of the numbers.
Most teams traditionally who have been pressured teams will do it mainly after a made bucket. West Virginia these last few years, they do it no matter what. And it does make them a little different. Now, I would say, and you're the analyst, you can disagree with me, the press this year hasn't been quite as good. Not quite as good.
Not as good, and also I don't think they've had the depth to keep it going. We've seen teams in the second half not turn the ball over nearly as much.
Vital with the steal, and he missed the layup. Great defensive play, just missed the shot. Here comes West Virginia on this end, no good. A lot of good looks.
As soon as Teddy Allen caught that, you knew that was going up. He is trying to score the ball, especially with that right hand. Got to convert around the rim.
Big Lindsey went right by Carter. Clark interfered with it. That was still in the cylinder. A good effort by the freshman.
Both teams getting the basketball into the painted area. Jake Lindsey, you just know that West Virginia's got athletes, and sometimes you kind of get a little cute with it. And you're right, Dave. That basketball's still in the cylinder for Tristan Clark.
That was interesting. Now, you don't see somebody on the dribble go by Javon Carter very often.
He flew by him.
4 turnovers last 5 possessions for the Mountaineers. Very sloppy with the basketball.
West Virginia going to try to overload a side. That is not a good shot.
Not at all.
That is not good.
A contested, tough fall-away 3 from Lamont West, and I guess they got bailed out with a whistle. Omot with the foul.
Yeah, you're trying to overload the side, but that doesn't mean you have to shoot the basketball right away. A lot of time on that shot clock. Got to trust your zone offense.
It's not always pretty for West Virginia. Carter the inbounder. Allen, what did you just say? He wants to shoot.
He's in there. He's not in there to pass. That is for sure. He is in there to shoot the basketball.
Doesn't always make a ton of shots.
He's just kind of, he's been inconsistent. You see him have games of 20, 22, 18. Then he also has a bunch of games where it's 2, 0, 0, 3.
Nice look to Vital. He dishes off, and the shot goes down for Lawal Achuil.
You know, in the Baylor minds right now, Zach Kanate is absolutely at the forefront of them. And we saw him block 9 shots in their game at Baylor. You see the passing in the paint. Just guys not feeling comfortable taking the basketball right to the rim.
Miles trying to get the ball inside.
Got West in the corner.
Shot fake. Miles shoots the long 3. Too strong. That's going to be a foul against West of West Virginia.
You have to think Zach Kanate looming large. Nice interior passing. Kanate comes over. Vital flips it to Actuil. That is really, those kind of close quarter passes are difficult. A lot of times you see guys put too much zip on them. It can be hard. Nice job by Baylor there. finding Actual for the easy deuce.
Well, you referenced it. It would be easy for Baylor to be a little spooked by Konate.
Oh, he was coming over to block shots and take them off the glass.
Baylor's got to make sure they get the ball across midcourt. They do, barely. LeConte almost fell down, flipped it over his head. Somehow they avoid the turnover. Konate in the 2 games against Baylor, 2 games, had 16 total blocks.
He is the, if it wasn't for Mo Bamba, we talked about tough year to be a freshman or a defender. It's absolutely a tough year. You got somebody like that.
Well, it's incredible the defensive presence he gives under the basket. We'll talk more about him when we come back. Now back here in Kansas City, time to take a look at our Wendy's Wooden Watch. I think this is impressive. More finalists for the Wendy's Wooden Award from the Big 12 than any other league. And remember, the Big 12 is basically the smallest of the major conferences. Only 10 teams in the Big 12. Graham, Carter, Young, Evans, Bamba, all on that final list. Mo Bamba wasn't even a first-team All-Big 12 player.
Yeah, no, it just shows the talent and the depth of talent in this league. We saw, or we have seen, really 9 teams vying for NCAA tournament spots coming into this weekend. And when you have good teams, you're going to have good players.
Allen along the baseline had a good look. The ball was tipped in, I think, by Baylor.
Yeah,
I think TJ Maston tipped
that in. And West Virginia needs to keep doing a good job of exploiting that short corner. They have had open looks from there all night. They just had issues getting the ball there and then just missed shots when they have. But looks are going to be there.
Lindsey's been pretty aggressive against Carter. Problem is you pick up that dribble and you get swarmed. LeConte, meanwhile, air ball. Carter finds his fellow senior Miles. Is that the short corner? Well, he went right by the short corner. Kind of got himself stuck underneath the backboard. Ooh, that was easy.
Yeah,
Achuil, he threw that elbow, and Maston beat everybody down the court.
Big Lindsey just did a great job of keeping his eyes up the floor. West Virginia, that's an uncharacteristic mistake. Not getting back. We see 2 subs at the scores table. Bob Huggins cannot like what he's seen thus far.
Lob, Miles way up high, didn't finish. Caught with the screen from Achuil, who might have gotten away with one. Down low, in and out. You might have to go back and take a look at that elbow that didn't connect, but was pretty violent.
A little excessive, yeah.
Carter from Trae Young range comes up short. Offense hard to come by for the Mountaineers. What a screen. Carter got picked off. LeConte goes all the way.
And that's where if you're Javon Carter, you're looking at Sag Konate and you say, hey man, you can't allow that to happen. We've got to communicate. You're going to get me killed out here. That's a great screen, though, by Joe Luol-Actuil.
That's exactly what he was saying. Right as you were saying that, he was saying that to Konate.
Absolutely. That cannot happen.
Dangerous pass. Konate, 1-2 dribbles. Missed the shot, got his own miss. Sort of got knocked to the floor, tried to throw one up. It was blocked. Oh, a lot of contact for no whistle. Maston tried to shoot it without landing. Now a foul, I think, against the Mountaineers behind the play. And this is the play that we were talking about. Man,
yeah, he's a foot away from being ejected from this game. He's fortunate. And here's the screen. Actuil just lays Javon Carter out. You let Manu LeCompte get a head of steam going downhill. There are not many bigs in this conference that can contain him, and he's struggled against West Virginia. You know, he's just 6 of 23 in their 2 meetings. You give a good player like LeCompte an easy layup, and he can get going.
Konate may be a little frustrated. He got called for that last foul that keeps the possession with Baylor. A slip on the floor and a turnover. Konate goes to the bench.
Tristan Clark is really struggling. He's just not catching balls and a little out of sorts right now for Baylor.
Basic stuff. King McClure double teamed. Mooney Omat Big guy who's got some skill.
He does. He can handle it. We know he can shoot it, but really a pretty good athlete. Can't leave him like that.
He hits the three.
And that's just a miscommunication. Bob Huggins, he's going to send Machi Bender to the scorer's table because you leave a shooter as good as Nuni Oman, he's going to make you pay.
Coach Huggins is less than thrilled with the way his team is playing, and he's digging deep into the bench to try to find somebody, some combination that'll work out there. Bolden has turned it over a couple times. Now airballs one. Lucky bounce for West Virginia. Went right to Issa Ahmad.
They need more from Issa Ahmad. He is a guy, you know, really a talented dude. And with his suspension, I think it's been hard for him to get in a rhythm. But we've seen in the last 3 games, 2 of those had 11 rebounds. He needs to be the presence on the offensive glass that he can be and has been in the past. You know, West Virginia does not shoot great percentages from 3 or even the field. They're not a great shooting team. A lot of times their best offense is let Sag Kanate and Issa Ahmad just go make plays on the glass because they're so athletic, they're so physical. And he just hasn't been able to bring that consistently.
Bolden out. A missed free throw from Issa Ahmad. Didn't help his year and the continuity of his year to be suspended for not meeting NCAA eligibility requirements for the first 16 games of the year.
You miss time like that, and we've seen a lot of, I mean, Zach Smith's a good example.
There's the pass.
Yeah, you cannot make that pass. That's way too long.
Miles out of control. Offensive foul. So you get the turnover, West Virginia does, but don't take advantage of it. That almost always leads to a bucket.
No, they have Baylor right where they want them. Get him to throw a long cross-court pass, but Nuni Oman just posted up and Dexter Miles just plows him over. I mean, he is easily there. Set defense. It's where you ask Dexter Miles, you got to make the fundamental play. Got to make a jump stop, make that pass.
Baylor at times this year really struggled against his pressure. So far, handling it better, playing better. McClure almost got his pocket picked by Javon Carter.
He almost spoke too soon there. A little ragged on this possession here.
I would say it's going to be a jump ball. Ragged sort of defines this program, doesn't it?
Certainly does, but if you're going to play against West Virginia, you better be ready to play like a grown man. And so far, there have been bodies hitting the floor. It's Baylor, West Virginia. What else would you expect? To get in today, have to think there could be a rematch, Duke, North Carolina, Part 3. We will see. But you're right, Miami, they knocked off the Tar Heels just last week. They've kind of had North Carolina's number.
They're up right now, nearing the end of the first half in Brooklyn. Why would you want to watch that game, though, when you can watch this game, which features more turnovers than made baskets?
Well, West Virginia has not scored in almost 4 minutes. It's been a struggle. This zone so far, Baylor accomplishing what they want. They've made things difficult. West Virginia not able to get really any quality looks.
Harris, shot clock winding down. He traveled. So,
yeah, that's a possession to nowhere. That possession, a lot of dribbling the arc. Got to get touches to the middle, got to get touches in the short corner, flatten the zone, then you can attack.
They're 4 for 18, West Virginia, and they've turned it over 7 times. That's how you get 10 points in 12-plus minutes.
You see Bob Huggins, as we've seen guys sub out of the game, just him kind of hold his arms up and say, what are we doing? This is not part of the game plan. We have not been effective.
Carter went for the steal against Lindsay, didn't get it. Just so much mental pressure to work against Carter. Too strong with the 3. And at some point, Carter's going to have to get involved offensively. He has not scored yet. Of course, most of their players haven't scored yet.
Look at this. We're down to 13 on the shot clock. The basketball hasn't breached the perimeter yet. Finally, a pass into the short corner, but what's Lamont West going to do with it there?
Nothing. Pass it out of there. Shot clock at 2. Carter launches. It goes.
Well, that is what big-time players do. And that shot clock's winding down. Love the fact that he didn't take the forced 30-footer. Get yourself a little quicker or a little closer and a better look.
Omot got fouled as he put the ball on the floor.
you had any questions about Javon Carter's range, well, he did scoot in a little bit. It is still from distance. Honestly, man, LeCompte, he did go for the head fake, but pretty good D.
It was really good D.
Got a hand back in Javon Carter's face. That's just what elite players do. They make big-time shots, and that's absolutely what that was.
You made the point. Let's emphasize it. It's ugly for West Virginia. Baylor, this isn't a fluke. They are a good defensive team. I know they play the zone. That's their style. Sometimes they get criticized for it. This year, defense has maybe been their overall strength.
Now, they have baffled teams. In West Virginia, a team that likes to run that flex action. They also like to run kind of their back screen motion. They just aren't able to do it against a zone. And thus far, they haven't been able to score.
And they're not going to get a shot off here. It's a turnover. Shot clock buzzer was about to go off. Javon Carter trying to get everybody going now.
No, and you see it in his eyes. He has that look right now. We need to get stops, and we need to start getting some better shots. We'll see if he can kind of will his team here with 6 minutes to go in the first half to a little bit better play on the offensive end of the floor.
Two-time Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. 4 times, all 4 years. First team all defense. Horrible pass.
No, I mean, it's a good flash. It's just you have to deliver the basketball. That's a bad pass by Daxter Miles.
Lindsay dishes. Block. There's the big man, Konate, swatting it away. West will shoot the 3. Way short. Miles there. Good hustle by him. He'll go to the free throw line.
Those are the types of plays you need from Daxter Miles. Not shooting the basketball well this year, but take a look at Sad Konate. This is a great look from Jake Lindsay. And honestly, with most players in the country, this is probably a dunk or an easy 2. And Sad Konate is just such a rim protector. You see him, he's ready and waiting, and Baylor is going to have nightmares after the season. This dude has dominated the paint against the Bears.
Daxter Miles, not a great year shooting the basketball. He is a good free throw shooter. It's funny, Daxter has been such a good player for this program. And yet he shot his lowest percentage of his career as a senior.
Has to be frustrating. You're looking to your senior year. You want it to be your best. And tonight he's had some opportunities. Here with the offensive rebound, that's a great look for him. We had the lob play. That's a great look for him. Needs to be more assertive in looking for plays, not necessarily just shooting threes, because he just hasn't made them this year. Got to still make an impact on other parts of the floor.
Baylor breaks the press. LeCompte, the point guard, will get organized against Miles. One thing about Baylor, they're okay playing at a slower pace. Lindsay way up high off the backboard, a whistle and a foul.
I thought Konate was pretty straight up. Jake Lindsay goes in there hard.
He got called for the personal, though.
Yeah,
that's his second.
Get Konate. That's a big, big foul. Konate going to have to go sit. And you see Bob Huggins. He is not happy. Thought he was vertical. I thought he was vertical, too.
There you see Bob making that hand signal. Let's look.
There's some body, but the thing you can say, though, is Konate has to meet him a little farther outside the lane. It probably didn't have to get to that. That's a blow-by drive, and it's hard to get over sometimes when that happens. But he meets him pretty much at the rim. I know he's a shot blocker. You meet him just a little outside, time it up a little better.
So Konate's going to come out. And that's no offense to Logan Rout, but that is a drop-off for West Virginia. Good pass, a block, no, a foul. Will commits the personal. Wesley Harris, sophomore, native of Jackson, Mississippi. He's a sophomore academically. It's his first year in the program. Started in junior college. And he has started every game in his first year in Bob Huggins' program. He's kind of in that mold where, you know, the polish on the offensive end not always there. Pretty good free throw shooter, but works his tail off defensively. He kind of keys the front end of the pressure.
He's kind of the prototypical West Virginia forward that we've seen. I think the body type you look at is like a Devin Ebanks, just a guy that's super long, 6'6" to 6'9", and they've had plenty of them here in West Virginia.
And look how hard he's working to get back on defense.
Yeah, just guarding his tail off. Right now, man Lecomte has to be expending so much energy bringing the basketball up the floor. When you do that, it's hard to play on the offensive end.
He carried.
There you go. Get him to carry the basketball. That is great defense by West Virginia.
And specifically that guy, Wesley Harris, we were just talking about him. I know it's, in a way, it's more fun to watch shots go through. It's hard not to like watching what he just did.
I mean, he heats up a point guard that's really probably almost a foot shorter than him and just has him completely out of sorts.
Ahmad hits the jumper. Lead for Baylor down to 1.
This is where Jake Lindsey has really helped out by coming into the starting lineup, especially against West Virginia. You can move Lecomte off the basketball. Lindsey going to be tested all night. You got Javon Carter just dogging you up the floor.
So far, he's been pretty solid with the ball. Again, Harris right there in the face. He's guarding the point guard. Ahmad almost knocks it away. He does knock it away. Here goes Carter, and he flips it to Issa Ahmad. Timeout Baylor, West Virginia. It's been ragged in the first half. Not in these last few minutes, though.
Well, West Virginia getting things going. And you got to like the fact, Wesley Harris, he is hyped.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Virginia has gone on a 12-2 run. It's been almost 5 minutes since Baylor made a shot. And that's the defense of the Mountaineers. So they're back ahead by a point. 3:54 to go. First half. Dave Fleming, Robbie Hummel, Chris Budden with you. And back here in Kansas City, a 1-point lead for the Mountaineers on that run, keyed by the defense. Pressure set up again. Another collision. We've had several of those.
I love the no call. That should never be a foul. We saw it earlier in the year with Wisconsin. That's how they won a game. That is not a basketball play.
Kind of a cheap way to win a game. That foul is going against Baylor. Maston. More pressure working for the Mountaineers.
It hasn't felt like they've really turned them over. That's their 11th turnover. And there's been some dead ball ones just like this. You can live with the dead ball turnovers. But when it's live ball and you got Issa Ahmad tearing rims off, that's when you seriously have a problem.
Javon Carter hit that 3 at the shot clock buzzer. That it was almost like that shot helped get West Virginia going. Little pass fake. Ahmad, who's feeling, I think, much more confident, missed that shot. Long rebound to Baylor. Ahmad in the corner. No Jake Lindsey in the game, so who's going to be that extra ball handler? King McClure trying to be. Pull-up jumper, way short. Maston, offensive rebound, but the putback doesn't go. Great look.
All right, now there's a lid on the rim for Baylor.
Ahmad, one power dribble, then had it stripped away off of the Bears. And I think sometimes, Robbie, would it be fair to say, even if it's not the actual press that's getting you, the idea for West Virginia is speed everything up, even those looks close to the basket, even when it has nothing to do with the full court press.
No, it's tempo, and they have certainly imposed their will on this game, especially since you said the Javon Carter 3. We see Issa Ahmad get a wide open layup. Baylor's defense, they're in that 2-3 zone. They fall asleep. The game has changed.
Yeah.
It has really had a different feel. Baylor controlled the first half of this half, and Javon Carter, as he's done a lot of this season in a lot of games for West Virginia, he has absolutely changed it.
Ahmad used his forearm to shove off. Bob Huggins wanted to call. No whistle. Lindsey driving, had nowhere to go. A pushing foul. That was a bailout.
Now, there was nowhere to go. Jake Lindsey got caught in the air. Let's take a look at the zone, and West Virginia just kind of running cutters through, and if you're going to switch them, you got to make sure you have contact. You can't be pointing and switching there. You can get lost so easily, and you just give up an easy 2.
Baxter Miles having a conversation with one of the officials, Keith Kimball. 8 fouls against the Mountaineers, so it's 1-and-1 time for Lindsey, who bizarrely is just not a good shooter.
No, and Scott Drew even said we try to get him to shoot more. He shoots in practice. Been a great facilitator, has helped this Baylor team really play better in the last 9 games, but you're right. Right there, that free throw just didn't look good off his hand.
Harris had it poked away, hustled though, and kept it alive for the dunk.
Effort plays from West Virginia. It is what they're known for. And if you're not going to get on the floor, you absolutely know they will.
That was both Harris and Miles to find Rout, who's given some positive minutes off the bench with Konate in foul trouble. Now he draws a charge.
That is the pace and that is the press, and they are affecting the game. Baylor just a little bit looking like they're in a hurry. Take a look at the hustle there. West Virginia quicker to the ball. It's a 50-50 play. And then just the smart play. Takes the charge. Really good stuff from Logan Rout. He's come in and had an impact on this game. I know you said he's not Sad Konate, but he doesn't have to be. He's just got to be smart, take charges, make plays for West Virginia.
All Mountaineers the last few minutes. We'll be back in 30 seconds. From Kansas City, the Sprint Center, Phillips 66, Big 12 Championship. 3 of the 4 semifinalists are set. The 1 seed, the 2 seed, and the 4 seed. Kansas State, 7 Eastern tomorrow. Texas Tech awaits the winner of this one, West Virginia, Baylor. And it was looking like Baylor was in a real good position in this game. They controlled the first part of this first half. Since then, though, West Virginia has taken over a 16-2 run, a 10-0 run. Mountaineers up by 5.
Yeah, West Virginia hasn't necessarily shot the basketball great. I mean, just 36% from the field, 22 actually from 3. But they have made all the plays here at the end of the first half, and right now they're in great shape going to halftime.
7 minutes without a made bucket from the field. That's an offensive foul. I don't know about that one.
I thought he was in the cylinder, but Isaman did lower his shoulder.
Hey, it's hard to officiate a West Virginia game. It is. And I think I have sympathy for the officials.
To me, he's sliding over still.
Yeah,
that's a block.
I didn't think that was a. He wasn't in the cylinder. Although I was with you live, I thought maybe he was. But that's a block.
Mark Vital has not really been a factor. He got fouled there by Javon Carter. This is a Baylor offense that has struggled to not just score, but get the ball across half court for the last 3 minutes. These free throws certainly key, and now that's the 10th foul. They're going to shoot 2.
Talking about almost 9 minutes without a made basket. 9 minutes. Mark Vital, who they nickname him Baby Rico. Rico Gathers, who's a great player for Baylor. Really good offensive rebounder, big, strong guy. Mark Vital does a lot of things well. This is not one of them.
No, he's not a good shooter. And just from reading about him today, this is fascinating. In 2011, he was in middle school.
Okay.
He is named the most impressive middle school dunker. Think about taking that title. I can think of one dude I played against that could dunk in middle school, and we thought he was like Michael Jordan. So to be the most impressive middle school dunker, and you see him now, he's an elite athlete. And he'll make plays where you're like, wow. But that's a sweet title. I wish I had that one. I certainly did not.
He looks thick, but he is bouncy.
Powerful. He's a powerful athlete.
He made the second free throw. Final minute of this first half. Baxter Miles. Carter, long 3. I think he knew it was short. Rebound. Issa Ahmad has it. Kept it alive.
That's what you need from Issa Ahmad. Make the hustle plays. You have to think if you do that, the rest of your game is going to come with it.
2 for 1. Javon Carter.
I would love it, but I don't think we're going to see it.
No. Allen draws a foul.
West Virginia's really starting to find that soft area in the zone. They have found the middle. They've had some opportunities and missed them, but right there, Teddy Allen just kind of sneaks right in. You're going to have opportunities here. You just have to make sure you take care of the basketball. We've said it all night. It's the middle, it's the short corners. You're going to get looks.
Teddy Allen, who went to high school in the end in Nebraska, is really from the Phoenix area in Arizona. Boys Town High School.
We're going to take a look. You see it, that area right in the middle. And Teddy Allen does a great job kind of sneaking his way in there.
So when you talk about the soft spot, the middle spot, the weakness in that zone, that's it.
No, it is. And this is a very non-traditional zone. You think zone, especially in college basketball, you're thinking 2-3. You're thinking maybe 1-3-1. Occasionally you'll see West Virginia do it. A few other teams in college basketball will 1-3-1, but this is a 1-1-3. And it morphs. And sometimes it looks like it's a 2-3. Other times it looks like it's a 1-2-2. Sometimes it looks like a 1-3-1. But you just have to attack it. When you send cutters through the middle, we saw Teddy Allen right there. That's when you can be most effective.
There is a tiny difference between game clock and shot clock. 5-point lead West Virginia. Baylor essentially trying to hold for the final shot. McClure against Carter. Look at the eye contact, Carter.
You would think McClure might give this up.
You would think.
One of the best defenders in the country.
You would think. But the follow dunk, Tristan Clark. 2 seconds, 1 second. The heave from Carter. He's good! He hit it! From half court. I think he knew it was going in.
It honestly looked good from the second it left his hand.
He let it go and he stared it down, and it is good. Basket counts. Watch this.
That is awesome. What a great shot by a great player. And when you are a great player, you just expect them to make shots like this. And West Virginia going to take a 6-point lead into the half thanks to Javon Carter.
You're the expert on distance. How long was that shot?
I'm going to go with, it's a 60-footer right there. Nothing but net.
That's pretty impressive. His head coach has to be pleased, right, Chris?
Yeah, Coach. What was the difference there in the first 10 minutes and the second 10 minutes in that half?
We had better ball movement, and we did a better job of cutting.
There was a point there where you made a lot of substitutions. What were you looking for in your guys?
Just somebody to make a shot. We didn't make any shots. Somebody come in and make a shot for us.
Appreciate it.
Well, Bob's going to calm down. He's too revved up now. He'll go back in the locker room and try to regroup. Always concise. A 20-5 run for West Virginia. Exclamation point was that. Even with that, just a 6-point lead, 29-23. Kevin Connors in studio. Take it away. Welcome back to ESPN's Champ Week, presented by Principal. Start of the second half in Kansas City. The nightcap, the final game, the final spot in the semis on the line. It's a physical play in this one. West Virginia, the 3 seed, with a 29-23 lead. And sort of indicative of how it goes here in the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship. The physical play has been a hallmark, that's for sure. Dave Fleming, Robbie Hummel back with you. It took a while for West Virginia's defense to take over, but it took over.
No, it did, and West Virginia is just doing West Virginia things. That's the easiest way to sum it up. Defensively, they are an elite unit in this country, and they hold Baylor to 38% shooting from the field, but they also turn them over 12 times and also get 8 steals. Now, you can live with the dead ball turnovers, but when you have 8 steals, you are starting the break, and that is the definition of right here. Issa Ahmad, go rip the rim down. You gotta keep West Virginia out of transition. Baylor has not been able to do so.
5 assists, 12 turnovers for the Bears. West Virginia started to shoot the ball better as their defense kicked into gear. Mountaineers ended the first half on a 20-5 run. Last 9 minutes essentially of the half. Baylor made 1 shot. So the Bears will have the ball to start the second half. Chris Budden, by the way, chatted with the Baylor head coach, who I assume, Chris, was a little more talkative than the West Virginia head coach.
He was, and actually kind of sarcastic, walks up to me and says, well, that's the last thing we needed, was to give up a half-court shot. He said, we really have to get back to taking care of the ball. I thought we got too stagnant those last 8 minutes. We need to create more open shots, and when we get those opportunities, actually hit them.
Well, that's a good start right there. Pressure release. You know West Virginia, they want to deny passes. Love the set coming out of the start of the second half. Great job by Scott Drew. Nice little backdoor play.
That was an interesting pass over to Kanate, who got rejected by Achuil. Here's Ahmad from the corner. He's asking for a foul. Kanate called for the push-off right away.
Right in the back.
Right away, personal foul number 3. 40 seconds in, and he's going to come right back out of the game. Amazing. I'm sure in the locker room, that's not the way he dreamed up this half starting.
That's a tough start to the half. Logan Rout gave great minutes for West Virginia in the first half, and he's going to be tested here. You got to help Jake Lindsey get the ball across half court first.
Dangerous pass. That's a travel.
Playing with fire. You just could feel that turnover coming. And again, it's a dead ball turnover, but you just don't help your point guard. Then you throw a risky cross-court pass. That's what West Virginia wants you to do.
One dribble into the jump shot, way short for Wesley Harris. Miles got tripped up. Maston scores.
That's where you miss that Kanate, because guys are just so much more comfortable attacking the glass. TJ Maston takes that thing right to the glass. Logan Rout unable to do anything about it.
Well, good start for Baylor here in the first minute plus. You go almost 9 minutes without making a shot, and in the second half, you're only down 2. That's a positive. Ahmad posting up. Did he get pushed from behind? I guess he did. The whistles start to come a little faster, and that call favors West Virginia, but I think the tighter the game is called, typically the worse it is for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, because they're the more physical team, like 99% of the time. They want to play a physical brand of basketball, and you're right, if they're going to call it close, that's not a good thing for Bob Huggins' team.
Ahmad, that was a quick dribble move.
Just a very quick first step, blows by the defense. Issa Ahmad's got a lot of ability, and if they're going to make a run, I think he's a big part of that. And you can talk about Dexter Miles shooting the basketball. You know what you're going to get from Javon Carter, but Ahmad can kind of take them to the next level.
Well, that's another one you could just see the turnover coming. Now, the question is that a play on the ball? I think it was by LeCount. His second personal. Dexter Miles didn't think so.
No, he didn't. And Nuni Ahmad kind of dribbling here. Scott Drew telling him you got to pick the basketball up. He's not a great ball handler. He's capable, but West Virginia is so swarming. You see 3 West Virginia bodies flowing into that play, and they're coming to take your ball.
Carter's got 4 steals, 6 points. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12.
West Virginia trying to overload this zone. You can see as that basketball swings from side to side, you've got 3 guys in a triangle from the corner to the block to the high post.
Rout underneath the basket, found Carter. A little shot fake.
Great pass.
Wide open, Dexter Miles.
You know what? You play the game the right way, good things tend to happen. And that is a mature play by Javon Carter. Give up a good shot. Let's get a great one. Now we're going to get an offensive foul.
Lindsey pushed off trying to get away from number 4. It was right in his grill.
Right now things going well for West Virginia. Rout has the ball at the rim. Little head fake. One more. Bang, bang. That is great basketball being played by the West Virginia Mountaineers.
And they force the turnover with the foul. Ahmad. This looks like a different guy. As soon as I say that, he steps out of bounds.
I like what West Virginia's doing. It's a straight up overload every possession. I mean, you're just trying to outnumber the zone. And they've done a great job with Issa Ahmad, Lamont West, and Logan Rout.
Ahmad's a 3-year starter. He's got another year of eligibility left.
These are some long passes. You're playing with fire.
Maston missed it, had a great look. Carter got fouled again by Lindsay. We put our stats crew, our research team on it. 12 seconds in between whistles, so we had a long stretch of free-flowing basketball there. Lindsay comes out, a couple personal fouls against him in the last few seconds. Ahmad, Miles, another good look, hits another three.
But if you're TJ Maston, you gotta make Daxter Miles at least think about you. I know he's concerned about the pass to the corner, and I get that because it's his responsibility to limit that passing angle. But you got a guy who's made a lot of shots in his career. Daxter Miles, he just lines this one up. TJ Maston's got to get a hand up.
That's what his head coach was talking to him about. Turnover, Miles, can he make it 3 in a row? Yes! Timeout, Baylor. Isn't that amazing?
Just press Virginia. I mean, that is the definition of what they do. They turn you over, and they will punk you out if you're not going to come out and bring it at any point in this game.
That's how you get 11 points in a minute and a half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, Investments, Retirement, Insurance.
Beautiful night in Kansas City. Quite a moment for Daxter Miles, and I mean it literally. In 1 minute, he scored 9 points.
No, pretty impressive shooting display here for Daxter Miles. We've seen this season. Not long ago at Kansas, 22 points, hit 6 threes, but West Virginia imposing their will on Baylor with the press. And Daxter Miles, he will make you pay. Javon Carter doing a nice job finding him. Right now, West Virginia clicking on all cylinders.
10 field goals made for Baylor, 16 turnovers. 16 turnovers, we got more than 16 minutes to go. And they almost turned it over there.
Baylor's having a hard time just throwing the basketball in bounds right now. It's not just getting it across. West Virginia making it so tough.
King McClure found an opening. That's a much-needed three for Baylor.
It certainly is, and that's the thing. If you can break their pressure, you're going to have opportunities in the half court to get buckets.
Ooh, dangerous pass. Ahmad almost got undercut. Shot clock under 10. Ahmad, he has lived in that part of the court. I don't know if that was a pass or a block shot. West Virginia cannot believe it's going to be Baylor ball, but it is going to be Baylor ball when we come back after this. Some of that stuff from just today as Scott Drew's Baylor Bears desperately trying to get back in this game down 10. The pressure has had them totally out of whack since the early minutes of this game. But it's only a 10-point deficit with still almost 16 minutes to go. 18 wins, 8 wins in Big 12 play. Computers like Baylor. Lenardi's got them as a last 4-bye team. LeConte way short, and that could lead to a run out here. Mountaineers 3-on-2. What a pass. And the layup is good. No look from Daxter Miles.
Missed threes and long missed threes lead to runouts. What Daxter Miles is saying, they take an elbow to the face. They're going to get him with the block. Let's take another look at that pass. That was really nice stuff from Daxter Miles. Long three, run out. Nice little no-look action there. Lamont West, nice catch. A little finger roll action.
I mean, Miles got called for the foul there.
He's kind of, they both ran into each other. Right?
Yeah. Lindsay,
look at how deep they are on the baseline. I mean, you've got to give yourself some room to catch the basketball, start a little higher, make your cut.
They called a foul against Beetle Bolden. Close to being a 5-second violation. And the big guy's getting hot. Despite his team being up 12. Bolden just looked totally out of sorts in the first minutes of this game. Let's see if he can settle in a little bit. He's a good player.
No, he is. He just played 2 minutes, made some mistakes, and got the quick hook.
Shot clock under 5. Manu LeConte. Can he get one off? He passed it away. Shot clock violation. Another turnover.
Just a tough matchup for Manu LeConte. These guards so physical, and he has not been in a rhythm at all tonight. You look at what he's been able to do on the season. He's a second-team all-league player. And tonight, just 5 shot attempts, 5 points. For them to beat a team like West Virginia, especially with the press so effective, you need him to make shots. He just hasn't been that guy tonight.
He's had a lot of good games against Kansas, against Oklahoma, teams that don't maybe have quite that physicality in the backcourt. He has really struggled against Baylor. Good pass fake from Javon Carter, elevated and scored. He makes it look easy.
No, he really does. It's just he's such an athletic specimen. He plays so hard. Nice job looking up the floor. See if Baylor can convert.
They do with a dunk. Set up by Mark Vital.
That's the thing. If you can break their pressure, you can get some easy buckets. And Mark Vital, nice under control play. Baylor's still hanging around. You haven't played well, especially in the second half, but you're just down 12 points.
Watt got swarmed. Didn't lose the basketball. Gets it back and got hip checked.
You said, Dave, Javon Carter just makes the game look so easy. Nice little floater, kind of fading away. Really pretty, and then we see Mark Vital on the other end find his big. Joe Actual, or Actual, I should say, with the nice finish.
I think when I say that about Carter, I mean, look, we know he plays hard. That part of it isn't easy, but he never looks out of control to me. He just always looks calm.
He's just in complete control.
How about that play?
Wow.
Little eye connection.
They say the most dangerous man's the guy inbounding the ball, and right there, Baylor just ran away from him.
Usually, Javon Carter's the most dangerous man no matter where he is.
Regardless.
There's a bucket for the point guard. LeConte.
Last 2 possessions, Baylor able to flip that pressure. You got to get stops. They have not been able to stop West Virginia over the last 3 minutes. West Virginia's made their last 3 field goals.
Carter was fouled as he made the pass. So that's a foul against Baylor. By the way, following Miami, Carolina over on ESPN in the ACC, SVP at Sports Center getting queued up. Michael Porter comes back for Missouri. What does that mean? Jay Billis from all kinds of college hoops thoughts. And how about Serena Williams back on the court? She's a mom. I'll tell you about her return to competitive tennis. All that and more. Sports Center on the app with SVP. And Stanford Steve, I'm sure, is there too. Beetle Bolden came up short.
Maybe tipped.
Maybe so. I hope so for him, because otherwise it was about 4 feet
Dexter
short.
Miles is walking to the scorer's table.
LeConte, way short. Bolden gets to the loose ball, got bumped. If you like fouls called, this is the game for you. We're already in the bonus on the West Virginia side. 13 minutes to go. Beetle Bolden at the line. Chris?
We keep calling him Beetle. That was a nickname his mom gave him when he was born. He was born premature. Doctors gave him very little chance to survive, and at that point his mom came up with the name Beetle because they have a hard shell and tough skin, and that's what her son needed to survive. And here he is, Beetle Bolden. I love the nickname.
It is a great nickname. That's what everybody calls him. I mean, if you call him James, he sort of looks at you like, who's that? James. Bob Huggins might call him that now. It's not been his finest night. He is a really good young player. He tore his ACL when he showed up on campus getting ready for his first year, so he sat out redshirted. It's his 3rd year in the program. He took a big step forward this year, but a great kid with a really cool story.
Defensively, he's really improved in his ability to take charges. You know, I think he is really a guy that sacrificed his body and made plays for this West Virginia team. It's been a tough night for him tonight. He's had a tough couple games, actually. He's had some games where he's played 2 minutes, 4 minutes. hasn't been able to get in rhythm.
What a play by King McClure. Back to a 10-point lead for West Virginia. Every time you think a blowout's coming, Baylor finds a way to get the ball in the basket a couple times, just hanging around. Harris stepped back like he was going to shoot the three. I think probably a good decision that he didn't. Carter dishes it off. West scores. Set up the pressure. Maybe a push off. No whistle. Oh, might have gotten away with one. Now he launches a three wide right. Carter on the move. Nobody stopped him until Mark Vital got up to the ball and swatted it away. That was pretty impressive.
That was really impressive.
That's how you become a middle school dunk champion.
Yes, it is. Mark Vital taking a bad shot on one end. But when you've got a guy like Mark Vital to come out and block shots, everything's going to be all right.
Birthday boy, how many different ways has Javon Carter helped the Mountaineers?
Well, he's scored, he's assisted, he's stolen the basketball. He's got 10, 8, and 5. Got the party started with the half-court shot. Sweet little dish here to Lamont West. Done a little bit of everything, and then on this play, a little 2-for-1 action. Why don't I get this steal? Hand it off to Isamon. We're going to throw down. Really good play. Look, you know what he is. He has had such a career for West Virginia, and it's just, you have to think for him, has to want a Big 12 title. I would think that's the one thing, especially playing in this tournament. You got second the last 2 years. We just hyped him up, hasn't turned the ball over, and now he turns it over. But have to think he's hungry here in Kansas City.
So you turn it over, how about get it back on this end? And Carter had it blocked by Lindsey. What a great defensive play by Jake Lindsey. West Virginia is going to keep the ball. He's the kind of player, just fast forward a couple weeks here, you can envision Carter just out. It happens, right, in the NCAA tournament. A guy just wins a game.
Guys elevate their level individually, but also with this West Virginia team. Teams in the Big 12 have seen this press now for a couple of years. Have to think they've maybe gotten used to it a little bit. You get a one-day prep, quick turnaround. West Virginia is a tough out.
How many times is Baylor going to let that happen?
Yeah, that's inexcusable. I mean, you just cannot allow guys to sneak in there and get layups.
That's at least the third time on an inbound under the basket that West Virginia's gotten a layup. This time it leads to free throws. Ahmad makes the first. West Virginia's got its flaws, but they have a guy who has played 139 career games, who's one of the best players in the history of this conference, who has seen it all, done it all. And it just seems like that's such an advantage.
Experience wins in the NCAA tournament. West Virginia has guards that are very, very experienced.
Wow, that's a 10-second violation. That's the guy we're talking about. That's just effort and some skill too.
No, I mean, that is a skill. Playing hard is a skill. But right now, he's doing that better than anybody else. You think he loves this game, you see his reaction. He talked about it earlier on that soundbite. Defense is desire, and he wants to be a good defender. He is a good defender. But there's a lot of guys that have the tools to be a good defensive player. They just don't have the want to be that guy. He is the total package.
And I bet you're right. He'll catch the pass from Ahmad, shoots a three. No good. Baylor with the ball. Vital missed the layup in transition. Maston hustling to get the offensive rebound. He is fouled by Rout. But you said how Carter has not won a Big 12 championship yet, and I bet you're right. Sometimes we're in a bubble here. We call these games, we get so focused on the NCAA tournament, who's in, who's out. Every game feels so important in that regard. There's still a very nice championship on the line here this weekend, and I bet you're right.
You talk to any former player, and while you're right, going to the Final Four is the ultimate, but everybody cares about winning their league.
You hang a banner.
You get a banner, you get a ring. There's a big deal to being a Big 12 champion, and I am sure that is something that he wants to accomplish, and they are really playing well right now. We'll see if Baylor can kind of stage a run here in the last 10 minutes, have something to say about that.
Kant has finally gotten a few easy looks, or easier looks. What do you think? He has
a little look to the camera there.
Yeah, a little smile on his face, maybe half joking. The arms around trying to sell it. Hey guys, come on, what are we thinking?
What are we running?
Fouls starting to pile up on both sides. Rout. Hey, I don't think he was intending to use the backboard. Now we know which guy Baylor's going to target to foul. Hand check on Miles. I just thought we might have a few moments of trying to hear Bob Huggins bark at the guys in the stripes. I said it in the first half. It's not easy to officiate a West Virginia game. Now Harris called for a foul. How many whistles have we had in the last 10 seconds of game action?
It's been a little choppy here. That was a nice job by Mano LeCompte. He set a great backspin. Wesley Harris ran right through it. Get yourself to the line. Really smart play. About the scene.
Maybe Baylor can use the free throw line to get back in this game. You're talking about the best free throw shooter in the Big 12. And the #1 free throw shooter in the history of Baylor basketball.
If they're going to come back, cut this 10-point deficit, they need him to be that guy. And with Jake Lindsey, you can move him off the basket or off the ball, run him off pin downs, really where he's at his best. Right now, Baylor's trimmed this lead to 9. Kind of knocking on the door.
Single digits, Issa Ahmad back to double digits.
That's just a frustrating possession because it's so easy for West Virginia right there. There's just no resistance. Oh boy.
Travel? Yeah.
We've talked about the soft spot of the zone all night. Mano LeCompte is going to run. Well, actually, he's just going to stay back, kind of be in no man's land. No one covering the middle. And Issa Ahmad catches it at the top, or really just the free throw line, and goes.
That's a turnover on the Mountaineers. Baylor, by the way, we got almost 10 minutes to go. They have 20 turnovers. Got shoved, but no whistle for the foul. He just stepped out of bounds.
They had 21 turnovers in their first meeting, 14 in the second.
Well, they've reached 21 here.
It's been an avalanche of, you've had live ball turnovers, dead ball turnovers. It's been every type of turnover you can have.
Ahmad, you could see that coming. He lined that up, and he was fouled. Hold him back.
Well, it's a great drive by Issa Ahmad, but it is a phenomenal seal by Logan Rout, and he is going to hold back Goluel Actuil. You let Issa Ahmad have any space, and he is cleared for takeoff.
The junior from Cleveland. He's got 16 to lead all scorers. Those last two in emphatic fashion. You kind of circled him as the guy. Okay, we talked about Carter and Miles, the experience of the backcourt. This is your third part of that sort of potent offense potential for West Virginia. He can score the ball.
No, he can. We've seen him have success. He's a guy that's really talented, got great size, can post, has developed a nice jump shot, but just hasn't brought it on a game-to-game basis, hasn't found that consistency. And it's hard when you suspend it. Look at the pressure, man. On the ball, off the ball, it is everywhere. And Baylor is just overwhelmed right now. They cannot handle West Virginia's pressure.
They did get the timeout to avoid turnover number 22. I like the point you made just a minute ago, Robbie, about the seal-off. Logan Rout, Konate has been in foul trouble and ineffective. Rout's done some good things.
No, he's done great things on both ends of the floor, and you see Actuil just cannot get over. He's the help guy. He'd be the guy cutting off the baseline. Issa Ahmad really uncontested until the very end where he gets fouled. Logan Rounce gave great minutes. I really, we talked about how it's going to be an issue. He's not Sad Kanate, but he hasn't had to be. He's done exactly what he's good at. He's made simple plays, he's drawn charges, and he's helped his team just make winning basketball plays.
He's about to tie his season high in minutes played, Logan Rout. So the timeout for Baylor. We're here in the Big 12, but trying to take a global view. Such a great day of college hoops, and no place more dramatic today than St. Louis. Those first two games were something else. Alabama with Colin Sexton at the buzzer to maybe keep their tournament hopes alive. 71-70 over a good Texas A&M team. And then Georgia with an upset win against Missouri. Michael Porter comes back and plays. Ole Miss gets a win. It's been a ragged year for them, but they move on in the SEC. SEC was a good conference this year.
Very deep, very similar to the Big 12 in that regard.
Lindsey came up way short. Into the corner, quick release, too strong. Foul against somebody, Carter or West. One of the two pushed off. They're going to call it on West. Lamont, the sophomore from Cincinnati, a town that Bob Huggins knows very well. You figure that at least played a part in getting him to Morgantown. TJ Maston's been real quiet.
He's been such a huge part of this resurgence. Over the last 9 games, one of their leading scorers, 14 points a game, shooting the ball at a high level. The broken hand certainly kind of took a chunk out of his season. It took him a while to get back in rhythm, but he just hasn't had the touches tonight.
A 12-point lead. West Virginia with the lead in the ball. Carter stepped back. He lost Lindsey, but missed the shot. So a long way to go. This game not over yet. I think Lindsey's going to be exhausted.
Yeah, he has just been dogged up the floor the whole night. West Virginia just showing what they can do.
LeConte 3, too strong. And Carter got pushed from behind. Tristan Clark called for the personal this time. First shot for Carter. He's got another one coming. The history of this event for the Mountaineers, they've reached the finals the last 2 years, lost both times. It's only their 6th season in this tournament, part of the Big 12. They've been a high seed a lot of different times. Their last conference title came back in the Big East days at the Garden in 2010. Very memorable year for West Virginia.
Deshaun Butler, the leader of that team, my roommate for USA Basketball. One of the best guys you could ever play with. He is loved in Morgantown, and he should be.
Kind of the same way.
He's a heck of a player, and he's a heck of a guy, too.
He and Carter kind of in that pantheon with a few others, but I can think of Jerry West as one. Maston, no good. Bob Huggins at West Virginia, whether it's conference tournaments or NCAA, a lot of tournament wins. This is a sort of a system, a style, a program that has had a lot of success in tournament play, elimination play. Javon Carter, long way out. Rebound, Daxter Miles.
Good play by Daxter Miles. Steal a possession. Let's run some clock. It's a senior. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Baylor's starting to look a little worn out. Miles shoots a 3 from the corner. He has been hot from the outside.
Get him going from 3 going forward would be huge for this West Virginia offense.
Game changer for them.
No, he is so capable. And You know, he's at least a guy when he's not shooting well that you got to respect on the scouting report. When he's making shots, you got to believe that's going to open things up for Konate and Ahmad inside.
Maston was guarded by Carter, so he shot over top of him. There's another whistle and a foul against Baylor. Number 4, the senior from Baltimore, having a big night for West Virginia.
Daxter Miles has been able to get his game on, and right here he finds himself in the corner. Rise and fire.
Well, that's a matchup that a lot of people will be excited for in Brooklyn, I think. In the ACC tournament, when those two meet, that is a good result for that league. That's not to take anything away from Miami, but you can see the looks on the faces of the Baylor Bears as this game has turned against them. And again, the free throw line's been a major reason why. Daxter Miles playing one of the best games of the season for him. That's what it looks like when you play West Virginia.
They are going to scratch and claw and be physical with you. Thing is, if you can handle their pressure, you can turn it on them. But Baylor has not been able to do that tonight. It's been a struggle to really just get the ball in. West Virginia as good as any, making it tough to get that catch. You see LeCompte, look at how hard he has to work just to get the initial catch.
I mean, and we knew it coming into this game. The Baylor folks, sort of privately, were saying, gosh, you know, we feel like we match up with everybody in this league, just not real well with this team. It's just kind of the nightmare bracket for Baylor. And Beetle Bolden. McClure stole it back from him. Maston with a foul.
Beetle Bolden making a nice defensive play. Baylor stays with it. You see Daxter Miles. He gets TJ Maston across the head. That's a tough look for Beetle Bolden. Trying to get out of the coach's doghouse a little bit. I think Bob Huggins thinks he got fouled.
We could, in theory, just keep a camera on Bob for the whole game. No three-point play for TJ Maston. Javon Carter, 12 points, 10 assists, 6 steals, a double-double. A few more pockets picked, he could have a triple-double. In and out, offensive rebound. Scramble, West Virginia keeps it, and there was a whistle blown, and I guess that's going to be a foul against Baylor. See, all I had to do was ask. If I'd asked earlier, see, we have the technology. Look at that. Snap your fingers. That's how good we are on ESPN.
Bob Huggins cam.
The Huggy Bear cam. He's got the pullover going. First one good for Wesley Harris. He knows he's got a good team again this year.
And when you have a good team, you have to push buttons. He's done as good a job as anybody trying to figure out how to incorporate Issa Ahmad back into the lineup. It's been a tough season. This is a tough conference. You can really get beat up. At 11-7, they've probably lost a little more than we thought they would. But tonight, they've really competed, and they have won the battle for the 50-50 ball. We saw it right there with Wesley Harris. They've pressured, and they've taken Baylor out of what they want to do.
That's a foul on a 3, and the coach thinks about that. Not too flustered. Even just that, I think, puts a smile on your face. A guy who's done everything in this game except for win a national championship. He's been to the Final Four with a couple different programs.
You have to wonder about the Cincinnati team with Kenyon Martin. And yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow when you have a team as good as that one breaks his leg. And obviously Kenyon Martin goes on to have a great professional career, but kind of a missed opportunity, you could say, I guess.
I think he still thinks about that one. That West Virginia team that he got to the Final Four still means so much to him with your buddy.
We played them that year. They had a heck of a team. I mean, they had 5 guys that could switch 5 ways, and great size.
Off of McClure's foot, out of bounds. Krzyzewski, Boeheim, Huggins. 1 ahead of Roy Williams. Looks like both of them are going to get wins tonight. Rick Byrd of Belmont.
Yeah.
So Roy's already gotten credit for his tonight. John Beeline, another one of the great coaches in the game. His team is kind of sitting around and waiting. Bob Huggins may explode on young Vito Bolden, who won a few points back by hustling back and getting that block. He did make a nice effort play on defense.
Vito Bolden not giving up on the play, showing off the hops there.
Littlest guy on the floor.
I think it's going to be a little too late. Dexter Miles, I think it's going to sub in for him.
He was definitely headed that way. Harris got called for the personal. See what he just said to Wesley Harris?
I didn't see what he said.
You're out. You're out. Hopefully nobody's fluent in lip reading. We got another free throw coming. See, Vito Bolden, he dodged a bullet here because Bob found another guy to be upset with. So Vito can just sneak off. He does come out of the game, but he can just sort of sneak over there and sit down. They do not lack personality. And a willingness to kind of go back and forth with their head coach.
I'm kind of surprised that that's happening, to be honest with you. I'm actually shocked. Yeah, things aren't all bad. They are winning by 15 points.
They are, with 5.5 minutes to go. At some point, Vito Bolden probably knows that the attention will be back focused on him. Miles 3. Yes.
He's just in the zone. I mean, this has been a really impressive performance by Dexter Miles. He's got 19 points. He's hit 5 threes. And with him, he sees the ball going once. That confidence just grows and grows. And he really has been very good tonight here in Kansas City.
Watch him shoot and tell me how he shot 29% for the year from three-point range.
Part of it is shot selection. That's a good amount of it. He sometimes takes some bad ones, some quick ones. He's at his best when he can knock an easy one down, get himself going. Now you can kind of take some tougher shots. But he's forced the issue at times this year, and it's hard. When you're a senior, you know this is your last go-round. You want to be great. And sometimes you're forcing the issue, and he just has not made shots at the level that we've seen him do in the past.
19 points in this game for Dexter Miles, 17 of them since halftime.
That ball is moving so easily. I mean, it's like a knife through butter. It is. There's not a lot of resistance out there for Baylor right now.
They played good defense, I thought, for a good chunk of this game.
I agree. I thought the zone really affected West Virginia. You have to think that the Javon Carter 60-footer was deflating for them at halftime.
Whistle and a foul against the Mountaineers. We are going to spend some time in these last 4 minutes talking about how nervous should Baylor fans be. We'll discuss after this.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
In this tournament for that program in a long while, and then in this one, it was a competitive game in the first half. The second half has been all West Virginia with under 4 to go. By the way, I thought this was a cool note from the Kansas game. We gave you a glimpse of Newman's 30 points. Tied the Kansas Big 12 tournament record for scoring in a single game. The others for Kansas who share that record, Perry Ellis, Andrew Wiggins, Mario Chalmers, Wayne Simeon, Paul Pierce. That is good company for Malik
pros
Newman
right there.
And Kansas State, they will meet tomorrow 7 Eastern on ESPN. And then right here on ESPN2, the Red Raiders, the 2 seed. It looks like it'll be Texas Tech and West Virginia. How do you see this tournament playing out?
You said it. I really like Texas Tech. I think just the way they played today and with their depth and talent, they're really going to be a tough out. But look at West Virginia. They've really done some good things here in the second half. Texas Tech going to really have to handle their pressure. And in a rivalry game at the top of the bracket, you have to think anything can happen. It's going to be the same thing in the ACC tomorrow with Duke, Carolina. And all bets are off. I think Kansas State has to feel like they owe Kansas. The last couple of years, they've lost some games, whether it's the Mikhailuk layup or this year lost a close one in Allen Fieldhouse. Probably think they feel like they're due. It'll be a great atmosphere.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be a very cool day and night to be here in Kansas City. Shot clock did not reset on that block, so LeCont's got to get rid of it. He does, and
oh wow,
it finally went down.
That was going to stick there.
I did too. Carter got landed on by Mark Vital. Was it ever going to go in?
This thing just kind of takes its time, sits there, and good.
Had it all the way. It's like your putt that rolls around and hangs on the lip.
And good.
Carter makes the first of 2 free throws. And you wonder at what point maybe will Bob Huggins, who's still better than 3 minutes to go, give his guys a little extra rest at the end of this game. It's not going to be a comfortable few days for Baylor, I don't think.
No, it's for a lot of these Big 12 teams.
Yes.
It's just with what has transpired with bubble teams, you're just kind of putting your fate in the hands of the committee. And that's a bad feeling as a player or a coach because you want to be in control. And right now there's nothing you can do until Sunday when you either hear your name called or you don't.
They have 2 really good wins. They have a very good strength of schedule. Both those wins were at home. Computers generally like Baylor, and I think that's part of the reason why Joe has had them these last few days at least fairly comfortably in. But Lunardi told us before the game that a loss and they are in trouble. Daxter Miles is fouled out. It's almost like his way. I'd like to get an ovation for as well as I played in this game.
A little curtain call action.
19 points for the senior from Baltimore. Baylor is feeling pretty confident, though, despite those numbers, right, Chris?
Before the game, Scott Drew thought that his resume said enough to be a lock for the tournament. Now, he did say, I think if we do something tonight, it takes any question out of their minds, but he thought his resume spoke for itself.
In the non-conference, they beat Wisconsin, not the same as a normal win against Wisconsin. They beat Creighton. That's a good non-conference neutral court win. The rest of the non-conference schedule, they lost to Wichita State. They lost to Xavier. So you're hanging your hat on a win against Creighton in a neutral court and then home wins against Kansas and Texas Tech.
That's tough. I mean, you schedule some teams, too. The Wisconsin one, you assume they've been at the tournament 19 years in a row. So when you schedule them, you think we're going to get a quality loss or win. You win that game, but Wisconsin was not a good team this year from an RPI standpoint at the end of the year.
You look at their overall resume, I think Oklahoma State's resume is better, just in a direct one-on-one comparison in the same league. Lindsey rejected as he goes to the basket. Vito Bolden trying to make a positive at the end of a tough game. I wanted to sell it.
Been one of those nights.
Lindsey, Carter just let him go. I don't know. I mean, we hear from Chris. Scott's feeling confident. They are definitely on the bubble, Baylor. Maybe 18 and 14.
Thing is that they have no bad losses, so. But this is really, you look at it, this is our first year with the quad system. So I think there could be some surprises because of that. We're still feeling out the committee. The committee is still feeling out what this process is.
Jake Lindsey may be at the end of the line. It's been that kind of game for him.
He just looks spent, and he should be. He had to bring the ball up along with Manuel LeComte for most of this game. And he just looks exhausted. That's what West Virginia does to guards. It's been one of those nights for Baylor. They've just struggled.
That is the look right there of what it's like to play this team.
Yeah, they just wear you out. And they brought the fight to Baylor, especially after halftime.
West Virginia is going to take a timeout. Just a short one, final minute 35. Hey, Bob Huggins, Beetle Bolden missed the layup. Konate missed the dunk. Those two guys have had rough games, and Konate is going to hear about it from his head coach. Even in a game which has been a comfortable game the last 10 minutes or so, the coach is unhappy.
There's always something to teach, though, and there are learning points that can be made even up 12 with a minute 35. He wants this team to seal this game, ice it away, because stranger things have happened. And you start missing dunks and blowing layups, that's a way that maybe you don't get beat tonight, but they can beat you down the road.
Yeah, a lot of the Mountaineers struggled in this game, but when you have the two senior backcourt players play as well as they did, and Carter and Miles both played great, covers up for many other things.
Ahmad played great too.
He did.
And Konate certainly was not, he just wasn't on the floor that much. And I thought Wes Harris was okay. But no, you're right. The guards and Ahmad were great. And that was enough to get them over the top here tonight against Baylor.
When you evaluate West Virginia, you can't just look at the offensive numbers, because that's only a part of it with this team. It's part of it in this sport, but Bob Huggins is demanding a lot more from his guys. Carter gets bumped.
But it's not about winning just tonight.
Yeah.
You want to be great when it really matters come NCAA tournament time. And really elite teams that make the Final Four, they don't make those types of mistakes. And he understands that because he's been there. And even coaches that haven't been there, they get that. But if you want to be special, you got to do special things.
They had the tough loss at Allen Fieldhouse. They had the collapse against Kentucky where Knox just went nuts in the second half. A lot of people watched that game, Saturday prime game. Kind of felt like maybe it's a different West Virginia team. It's not maybe quite the same as these last few years. This is still a really good team. Well, it's a 10-point game. I think it's over, but Baylor trying to hang around in this one, make the final score look a little different. We're going to talk about Daxter Miles and his effort tonight, especially in the second half, just making shots from everywhere.
No, he has. I mean, he has been really in the zone. And Daxter Miles, a player that we've always known all along. On the scouting report, it says this guy can make shots. And tonight we certainly saw that. Fouled out, but 19 points, 5 threes, 4 of 4 from the line, but also 6 rebounds and 4 assists. He played a complete game. I'm sure Bob Huggins has to be thrilled. He's had some struggles this year. Maybe he hasn't played up to the hype in terms of what they maybe thought he could do in his senior season. But man, tonight he was really good.
Those first 3 that we showed you came in a span of a minute, literally. He had 3 threes in 1 minute of game action. He's thinking, thank goodness I fouled out and I don't have to listen to this guy.
Yeah.
His coach cranky at the end.
Not to be lost, too, but Manuel LeComte has 24 points.
He does.
That is really, he has turned it on here. A little too late, I think, but they kind of needed that to weather the storm when West Virginia was making their run.
Yeah, the problem for Manu is that most of those came after the game essentially had been decided. Not all, but he struggled again, and he's not the type of point guard who can easily handle this press. He needs a lot of help. Jake Lindsey tried to give it to him. 21 turnovers for Baylor. And they had that a long time. They haven't turned it over for about 8 minutes or so. Ahmad fouled. Scott Drew's not giving up on this game.
No, he's not. Still seeing some full court pressure.
So they wanted the ball, I think, in the hands of basically anybody but Carter. They foul Ahmad. Jake Lindsey. Hey, we may have undersold it when we said exhausted.
They just wear you out. And he did a really, he did an admirable job. He really did. He faced the pressure. You're going against a bunch of guys like Javon Carter who can just flat out get after you.
There's been 49 fouls called in this game. No comment necessary.
No.
Ahmad rebound. Are they going to keep fouling? Scott Drew wants him to. Offensive foul.
Scott Drew not letting his team give up easily. Oh, and just his offhand gets him right in the face.
And they're going to the monitor. They're going to check and see maybe a flagrant one. They looked at it and said no flagrant foul.
Yeah.
50 fouls now. Common foul. I think if Bob Huggins could boo like that guy right now, he'd be out and out booing.
Ooh, gotta be careful there. That half court line creep up on you.
Long three, good.
Way out there.
27 for him. I don't know, maybe Scott Drew's trying to sort of emphasize a point. It's never over. Don't quit. Don't give up.
Yeah, LeCompte just steps back. That was from way out there.
We've seen some long distance shots in this tournament. Trae Young hit a few of them. The game we had last night, Oklahoma State Sooners went down. They're sweating it out. Jacob Young for Texas.
He was great today.
Tremendous.
He really impacted that game. Kept them in it.
Longhorns are nervous. Baylor's going to be nervous. Oklahoma State, did they do enough? Steal. Ahmad. How about the exclamation?
That really sums up tonight. I mean, it has been the press, and the press has been the story. Ahmad, great job reading the passing lanes and throw it down.
Time to call off the dogs.
You see it, you throw lazy passes against this press, it is over with. Ahmad cocks it back. A little bit of showtime.
Well, Scott Drews, he's given instructions. He wants a certain kind of defense, but I think he said no fouls. West Virginia gets it across the midcourt line, and they are going to advance here in Kansas City. It'll be the Mountaineers and the Red Raiders of Texas Tech.
Should be a great matchup. You've got a lot of talent on the floor. Texas Tech playing well, trying to get healthy. We'll see, can they handle this West Virginia pressure? A team that pressures themselves, not the same. It's going to be half court versus full court, but it should be a great matchup.
Isn't it amazing, the chaos in the Big 12, the unpredictability, and yet we've had 6 games so far in Kansas City. The better seeded team has won all 6, and it's the top 4 seeds in this league that have advanced. 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. So you get the chaos in the regular season, you get to Kansas City, and the big boys are going to duke it out.
Yeah, it's going to be
cool.
The heavy hitters. And, you look at the Kansas State, have to think the crowd is going to be electric for that. We've seen a ton of West Virginia people here. Should be a great day of basketball. Really 4 very good teams going to play here for a Big 12 championship.
Well, Bob Huggins going through the handshake line, talking to the Baylor folks. I think Baylor now just has to sit around and wait and hope that their resume is strong enough. Their head coach thinks it is. I'm not so sure.
No, it's going to be interesting. It's a lonely feeling. You're sitting around Selection Sunday, and I know the NIT is a great tournament, but let's face it, these guys do not want to go there. You want to be in the NCAA tournament. You want to give yourself a chance to be an NCAA champion. So we'll see. It's going to be a long couple days for the Baylor Bears and a couple other Big 12 teams.
The guy who leads the way for the Mountaineers, Javon Carter, standing by with Chris.
Javon, you hit a shot basically from Morgantown at the end of the first half. What went through your mind when it left your fingers?
It just felt good. It looked good. And I just waited for it to drop in.
What was Coach saying to you guys about halfway through the first half that made you flip a switch?
We weren't playing with no energy. He said when we don't play with energy, we lose. When we play with energy, we can be the best team in the country.
You had that energy the rest of the 30 minutes. You guys were all over the place. How do you do that back-to-back games with one tomorrow night against Texas Tech?
If we want to win, that's what we got to do. We got to play this way. We got to keep it up. And we got to win 2 more games to bring that championship trophy home.
Yep.
Thank you.
Javon Carter, he was tremendous tonight, and West Virginia advances to the semifinals where they will take on Texas Tech. Happy birthday.
No, thank you very much. It's good to be
go
29.
Celebrate now?
I'm going to go prepare for tomorrow.
Good to
a lot of work to be done.
Good to be 29. Ain't that the truth, huh? Yeah, a lot of work. And the West Virginia fans, they have their own special way of preparation. They'll be ready for tomorrow night. Kansas State, West Virginia, Texas Tech. For the birthday boy, Robbie Hummel, for Chris Button, Dave Fleming saying so long here from Kansas City. The Mountaineers were impressive. They beat Baylor. Final score, 78-65.